Ex-girlfriend of my boyfriend, 27M, reached out to me, 19F, to warn me about him. What can I do? Hey everyone. Recently, the ex-girlfriend of my boyfriend reached out to me through a friend to warn me about my boyfriend and his family. Normally I would think that she wants her boyfriend back and is trying to disrupt our relationship. However, she talked about how they broke up randomly and he ghosted her after their 2-year relationship. From other friends I know that their relationship was very serious, talking about marriage and home loans. So I do think that the breakup is strange. Him and I started dating 2 weeks after that breakup and have been moving very quickly. For example, wanting to meet each other's parents. It's been 1 month even though I've said I do not feel comfortable with that yet. His ex said that their relationship moved very quickly too and he ended up cheating on her with his ex before her. I have asked friends for advice on this but they just said his ex-girlfriend was trying to break us up. I have mixed feelings because she was bringing up real scenarios of concerns I had, unprotected sex because condoms, doesn't feel as good, and our age gap which is significant. His ex, who was younger than him as well, said that he goes for younger girlfriends because they are easier to control. I do not know what to do because this is my first real relationship. I would love any advice. Thank you all so much. This man is almost 30 years old, left a 2-year relationship when they started having adult conversations, jumped into a new relationship with someone almost 10 years younger than him 2 weeks later. And now sounds like he's trying to rush the new relationship to the same level as his last one because he doesn't feel like spending another 2 years pretending to be a good guy. And in the event that doesn't work out, there's always the risk of getting you pregnant with unprotected sex. Seriously? Condoms don't feel as good? In this economy? Ain't no way in hell she wants this man back and you shouldn't want him either. She's setting off alarm bells that you already were concerned about, so take her words to heart. Sounds like he is love bombing you. Be cautious with this guy. Wow, are you my daughter? Runaway girl, it's all about control. My daughter at 22 started dating a 36-year-old man. They have been together for 5 years and have a 4-year-old daughter now. He sabotages her education. When exams and finals come up she comes back to me because he starts fights with her. Only to return. It's happening right now. She is so miserable but keeps going back. Sounds like if he doesn't dump you like the ex, you will be in the same position as my daughter. I don't care what people say, a 19-year-old has no business with a 27-year-old man. What he wants is number 1 control and number 2 sex. Unprotected sex. Number 3 make you reliant on him. There's a reason why he isn't with women his age. He is a loser. Number 27-year-old man is with a 19-year-old girl with any good intentions. Your friends, sorry to say, sound very dumb. And this is your first relationship? And he doesn't use condoms? Please cut this short and find someone closer to your age before you get pregnant and become tied to this man. Actually, I would listen. Slow it down. Trust your gut. Have protected sex. Do what I didn't. Listen to the ex and save yourself a whole lot of trouble. How do I, 28 male, go about distancing myself from a married friend, 26 female, who I got too close to? Basically I work with this woman. I felt like we connected really well. I consider her a really good friend. It got to the point she was hanging out with my friends and she's really a part of the group now. I've been a lot closer to her than my other friends. I definitely have feelings for her that I didn't realize initially. Basically I've allowed her on many occasions to be in my house hanging around. She comes over, a lot of something has happened between her and her husband. TBH, I don't like the guy and I initially disregarded what his feelings might be because I consider him a terrible person. It's been like 6 years of this kind of situation. I'm starting to realize how stupid I am because she's not leaving him. And I've ruined every opportunity I had to actually find someone for myself by having her around. You guys probably get it, this isn't an uncommon scenario. I just don't know how to create the distance without hurting her, leaving her with nowhere to turn. Stop texting as much, stop prioritizing her needs, no more solo hangouts, etc. is a good start. You take responsibility for yourself and hold yourself accountable in the steps you feel you need to take here. Communicate less chatting, less coming over, less whatever. Just try to balance things in a professional manner so that it doesn't affect your work much. This other girl is an adult and can take care of herself. She is also responsible for the choices and decisions she has made in her life. Go forth and sin no more, i.e., instead of worrying about her, a person who chose to get too close to you knowing she had a husband never intending to leave him, focus on your own well-being ruthlessly. You don't have to worry about where she has to turn. You don't have to worry if this hurts her. Stop returning her calls, stop engaging with her. Give her the African violet, look it up. Straight up tell her that you're starting to try dating more and distance yourself. No more texting, hanging out one-on-one, etc. If she's using you for emotional support the way it seems she is, she's going to try to be your wingman. Don't let her. She'll mess up any dynamics with potential new girlfriends and will try to reel you back in emotionally while not leaving her man. She needs you to give her attention when she's unhappy in her marriage, but it'll come at the cost of your own happiness. Maybe start by setting boundaries for her coming over. You could even be upfront about feeling uncomfortable with having a married woman alone in your house. If you're concerned for her well-being when she's having disputes with her husband, you could offer her help in identifying other places or people she can turn to. It's possible to recognize that someone you care about needs help, without obligating yourself to be their helper. And I've ruined every opportunity I had to actually find someone for myself by having her around. I don't know what your current relationship with her is like, but men are allowed to have female friends. As long as you're enforcing healthy boundaries for your friendship with her, there's nothing stopping you from dating other women. You can start by declining any invitations to hang out, stop responding to any phone calls, texts outside of working hours, and keep your interactions with her at work, about work. Mike, 25F, boyfriend, 28M, of 4 years cheated as a drunken mistake. He is all I have. So me, 25F, and my boyfriend, 28M, have been together for 4 years. I moved with him to his hometown a year ago and he bought a house that we made our home. I don't really have a relationship with my family, since I come from an abusive home, but I do have my sisters. They live 4 hours away from us. Last weekend, my boyfriend went out with his friends, while was at the one girlfriend that I have here so far. Thinking back, I always kind of thought that when something horrible happens concerning someone you love, you can feel it in your body somehow. But no. That night I slept like a baby at my friend's house, and on my way home the next morning I stopped to buy us iced coffees and have a nice breakfast with my boyfriend. The second I saw him I instantly knew he was upset. He looked horrible, and I asked if anything is okay. He said, "It's not," and my first instinct was to ask if his mom was okay, and then when he said yes I just rambled on naming different family members of his asking if they are okay. Until I stopped asking because of his body language. He was ashamed and wouldn't meet my eyes and I knew. Then he told me he has cheated. I was in shock. I kept completely calm, probably only because of shock, and started asking questions. First of all, why? He had no idea. He said he was as shocked as I am. Then I asked if he has wanted to end things but didn't know how to tell me. Again, no. He still loved me and wanted to spend his life with me. Honestly, I kind of felt sorry for him. I have never seen him like this. He looked destroyed. I left after a while saying I needed some time. I have been staying with my friend since I have school in this city. This happened 1.5 weeks ago now. Since I didn't get any answers from him as to why, I ended up asking her name and contacting her. She didn't know, and I asked her what her take on the situation was. She said he initiated everything. He came up to her, etc. I can't stomach going into more detail right now. And it was also his idea to go back to our place. In the cab he changed his mind last minute and they went to hers. And yeah, fucked. After reading that I felt done with his ass. I sent screenshots to him of what her perspective was and he tried calling me again and again until I texted him I can't talk. He wrote a lot of messages saying he is baffled at these texts and says he must have had a fucking aneurysm or something. I stopped talking to him at that point. Now, I am realizing I am so totally fucked. He was the only thing that has ever felt like family to me. He is also my best friend in the whole world. And his house was the first home that ever felt like mine and safe. I am closer to his family than I am my own, and I am fucking spiraling so hard. I can't lose this, I just can't. But I can't forgive cheating either, also how can I ever trust him again? He did tell me right away, but still. I am so stuck between a rock and a hard place. I have no one, nothing without him. He is the first person I have ever loved since my mom left me when I was 10, and I spent the first 2 years of our relationship just letting my guard down and learning to trust him. I refuse to go through that again with someone new. It's only him for me. And it breaks my heart. The way I see it, I have 2 options. Never see him again and accept that I'll never love someone as much as him and always look back, thinking about him until I am 90 years old, or going back to him and deal with the most horrible betrayal since childhood. I know everyone says they thought they'd never get over someone and they did. But I feel like this is different circumstances since I guess I trauma bonded with him, and maybe what happened is a little bit my fault too, since I put so much pressure on him to be my everything. And again, his family is my family. His house is the only place that has ever felt like home. I am in total crisis. This isn't your fault, not even a tiny bit. Your boyfriend actively sought to cheat, then realized on the way to your home and your bed that might just be too far, so went to her house and screwed her. He has fully manipulated you by appearing distraught, but if you take him back he will do this over and over again because you are isolated and he knows how fully you love and rely on him. You are young. Do not get trapped with someone who doesn't respect you and will continue to hurt you if you let him. He actively chose to cheat. Go and stay with your sister or girlfriend and have a good think about how to move on, but please move on. Don't leave because of the cheating. Don't leave because of what the other woman told you. Leave for you. Leave because you have lost yourself inside him. Leave because you believe that you cannot live without him. Leave because you're buried deep inside the psyche of a man who has not shown you all his true colors. Leave because this has nothing to do with your childhood, but you're not at the stage where you can address the pain separately and you're amalgamating all the pain into one. Leave because of you. And if you choose to stay, stay because you have allowed this situation to develop resilience in you. Stay because you know that you are free to commit to whoever you want to. Stay because you accept him, flaws and all. Stay because the pain is not a hindrance to your love. Also, I was just lurking and this comment didn't age well. Opening square bracket dot. I'm so sorry you're going through this, up. I feel sick to my stomach for you. They always look so broken after they fucking pull this shit, it is manipulation. He is a lying sack of crap. Dump him. It was a decision he made, and no, he wasn't looking destroyed because he cheated on you. He looked destroyed because he has to admit it to you. Don't ever forgive him. Couple of years down the road you will be much happier and with people who genuinely love you. Leave him for good. It wasn't a drunken mistake, it was a choice. He knew what he was doing was wrong. He felt that going back to your place was too far, and the possibility that you could have came home and saw them played through his mind. That's why he changed his mind on where they could fuck. You need to stand up for yourself and walk away from this man. The love of your life wouldn't do this to you. Do not settle for this type of love. You'll love again and you'll love harder. You'll be able to love someone who doesn't betray you like this. You need to walk away and detach yourself from this person. You need to love yourself more than you love him. Wife, 29F, wants me, 30M, to cut off my childhood friend completely. Is it a fair ask? For context, I don't have her try to make female friends. Not because I have anything against it, I just hold myself to that standard. I do, however, have one childhood friend who is a woman. I am 100% transparent about our friendship to my wife, and we've only ever had normal conversations, sending memes. Because of that transparency, I did admit to my wife that, when we were both kids, I liked her for a little while. My wife demanded that I cut contact with this person. I stopped talking or calling this person completely, and we only ever send each other memes or sometimes comment on a picture of our cats or dogs. My wife saw this, and felt betrayed because she wants me to completely cut her out of my life. She was a really close friend growing up, and I never enforced rules for any of her friendships. She is mainly friends with guys, and even a few that used to like her in school. But I never cared, and I trusted her. I don't understand her perspective on why I can be friends with this person. Any advice for this situation? She's being ridiculous. I send memes to male and female friends. I meet up with both in group situations or one-on-one with my female friends. Not the male friends, as they are not confidants like my female friends, so we don't have that sort of friendships, it's more group banter. Your wife is asking for you to completely block half the world's population. That's ridiculous. You can and should be acquaintances with this old school friend. Your wife is being insecure and ridiculous. Your wife is so insecure and controlling that saying anything at all to another woman pushes her over the edge. Is it possible for you two to talk rationally about this? Because it is her problem to solve, not yours. There is nothing wrong with talking to a childhood friend. Your wife needs help. Ask yourself what she would say if you were bisexual. No friends for you. Your wife is ridiculous. You are sending memes, not love letters. Just ridiculous, seriously.